trust in God's guidance and see your paths open up. Have you ever wondered if you are truly on the right path in your life? If you have faced difficult choices or moments of uncertainty, know that there is a powerful and transformative answer for your journey. Imagine having clear and unwavering guidance that not only lights up your path, but also opens doors you never thought possible. Today, we'll explore how trusting in God's direction can be the key to unlocking new paths and opportunities in your life. We'll address the doubts that arise when we can't see the future clearly, the challenges of trusting in something invisible, and the promises God has for those who follow His guidance. Before we begin, comment with the phrase, "I trust," if you are ready to open your heart and trust in God's direction. By doing so, you'll be declaring your faith and willingness to follow divine guidance. Divine direction is a guide that transcends our immediate understanding, as it is always driven by God's eternal purpose for our lives. When we face uncertain times, it's crucial to remember that God is guiding our steps according to a plan much larger than we can see. The Bible teaches us that all the paths of the Lord are love and faithfulness to those who keep His covenant and His statutes. This divine purpose is not just a response to our immediate needs, but a plan designed to shape our character and prepare us for something significant. Even when we can't see the path clearly, the assurance that God has an eternal purpose gives us constant encouragement to keep moving forward. Understanding the purpose of divine direction means accepting that the path may not always be clear, but that doesn't mean there isn't a purpose in every step we take. Often, the most challenging steps and the difficulties we face are essential parts of this divine plan, designed to shape us and bring us closer to our destiny. The winding roads and unexpected turns are opportunities to grow in faith and develop a deeper trust in God. As we navigate through these foggy and uncertain moments, we can trust that each challenge is a piece of the divine puzzle being meticulously assembled for our good. Additionally, it's important to recognize that divine direction does not conform to our personal timelines or expectations. God operates beyond the limits of time and human constraints, and His ways often do not align with what we consider logical or ideal. This reality can be disconcerting, but it is also an invitation to trust in something greater than ourselves. The journey of faith involves accepting that there is a time for everything, and that divine direction often reveals itself in moments of quiet and reflection, rather than being immediately obvious. By adjusting our perspective to align with the divine rhythm, we can find peace in the certainty that God is orchestrating every detail according to His eternal plan. Accepting the purpose of divine direction requires a total surrender to God's will. When we allow Him to guide our steps, we trust that His vision is broader and wiser than our own. This means giving up our own agendas and expectations, acknowledging that His guidance will lead us to our true destination. In every moment of doubt or frustration, we can remember that divine direction is an expression of God's love for us, a love that seeks our growth and well-being. This trust allows us to move forward with hope, even when the path ahead is not visible or seems uncertain. Trusting in God's direction is the foundation that strengthens our faith and prepares us to receive the blessings He has in store for us. The Bible teaches us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. When we commit our ways to the Lord and fully trust in His guidance, we affirm our belief in His sovereign plan for our lives. This trust is not just an intellectual belief, but a surrender of heart and mind to the certainty that God is in control, even when we cannot see the next steps clearly. It is through this deep trust that our faith is strengthened and our vision is adjusted to perceive the blessings He prepares. Trusting in God's direction leads us to a place of dependence and humility, where we recognize that our own efforts and strategies are limited. By setting aside our need to control everything and allowing God to lead our steps, we are preparing ourselves to receive the blessings He has for us. This surrender is an act of faith that allows us to let go of self-sufficiency and embrace the security of being under divine guidance. The process of trusting in God is a continuous journey where we experience His care and provision, and are shaped to recognize and appreciate the blessings that come from this trust. Furthermore, trust in God prepares us to face challenges with a renewed perspective. When we trust in divine direction, we see difficulties not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth and learning. This trust gives us the courage to move forward, even when the path seems uncertain, and helps us maintain a positive attitude toward trials. The assurance that God is working for our good enables us to face adversities with a peace that surpasses all understanding, knowing that He is preparing the ground for future blessings and achievements. As we develop a firm trust in God's direction, our faith becomes more solid and resilient. This trust allows us to look beyond current circumstances and anticipate what God might achieve in our lives. When we believe that divine direction is guided by an eternal purpose, we become more receptive to the opportunities He places before us and more grateful for the blessings we receive. This spiritual readiness positions us to live according to God's will and experience the fullness of His promises, demonstrating that our faith not only withstands challenges but thrives through them. Patience plays a crucial role in the spiritual journey, especially when waiting for God's timing. The Bible teaches us that you need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. Hebrews 10 verse 36. In times of waiting, patience becomes the key to recognizing and embracing the divine timing for each phase of life. By maintaining patience, we allow God to prepare the way in ways only He can, adjusting our circumstances and our hearts to receive the blessings He has reserved. This active waiting is not a period of stagnation but a process of growth and preparation where our faith is refined and strengthened, aligning us more closely with God's purposes. As we await the unfolding of divine plans, patience teaches us to fully trust in God's sovereignty and recognize that His timing is perfect. This waiting is essential for us to see the paths open in ways beyond what we can imagine. As we exercise patience, we are shaped to handle the blessings that will come, being equipped to wisely manage the opportunities and challenges that arise. Patience allows us to develop a long-term perspective, where each step of the way is seen as part of a larger plan, set to reveal itself in divine timing. This vision helps us remain steadfast and confident, even when the path ahead seems cloudy and uncertain. Recognizing the signs of God's direction is fundamental to understanding and following His path in our lives. Isaiah 30 verse 21 guides us. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, you will hear a voice behind you, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." God communicates with us in various ways, often through subtle signs and unexpected directions in our daily lives. These signs may appear as open opportunities, significant coincidences, or even through wise counsel from those close to us. Being attentive to these indications requires a willingness to listen and discern, allowing our spiritual sensitivity to adjust to capture divine guidance. Recognizing these signs is an exercise of faith, where we actively seek to understand what God is saying and how He is guiding us, even when the path ahead is not fully clear. Correctly interpreting the signs from God involves a combination of prayer, reflection, and discernment. As we receive guidance, it is essential to validate these impressions with God's Word and consider how they align with His principles and promises. Prayer is a crucial means for seeking confirmation and clarity, allowing God to speak directly about how to apply His guidance in our lives. Additionally, it is important to assess the consistency of the signs with the values and overall direction God has set for us. As we interpret these signs with care and sincerity, we can see how God is opening paths and preparing opportunities according to His eternal plan. This process of discernment helps us move forward with confidence, knowing that we are aligned with divine will and ready to embrace the blessings He has prepared for us. Even in times of uncertainty, God continues to guide us with His infinite wisdom. In Psalm 32 verse 8, God promises, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you." These challenging times, where everything seems confusing and difficult, are not moments when God steps away, but when He guides us in unexpected and profound ways. During these periods, divine direction may not be immediately clear, but God is working behind the scenes, preparing the way and shaping our hearts to follow His plan. Even when the future seems murky, it is essential to maintain trust in His guidance, as He is constantly leading and adjusting our steps so that we may reach the place He desires us to go. Trusting God during uncertain times is a faith exercise that strengthens us and prepares us to face adversity with a new perspective. When we maintain our trust in God, we allow Him to guide us through the fog of uncertainty and help us find clarity and direction amidst confusion. This trust not only helps us deal with current difficulties, but also prepares us to recognize and embrace the blessings He has for us when the storm passes. It is an invitation to fully surrender to His guidance, knowing that even when we cannot see the path clearly, God is working to lead us to a future of hope and prosperity. Following God's direction often requires a courage that challenges our personal expectations and plans. In Joshua 1 verse 9, God instructs, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." When God leads us out of our comfort zone, He often takes us to places and situations we had not anticipated. This path may challenge our plans and expectations, requiring us to have the courage to trust and obey, even when we do not fully understand why He is directing us as He does. Following divine will can lead us to face unexpected challenges and embrace changes that seem risky, but it is precisely through this process that our faith is strengthened and our dependence on God is deepened. The courage to follow divine direction is not just an act of obedience, but also a testament to our trust in God. By facing the uncertainty and challenges that arise when following the path He has set for us, we affirm our belief in His wisdom and plan for our lives. This courage allows us to go beyond the limits we have set for ourselves and embrace new opportunities that God places before us. Even when the path seems difficult and the promises seem distant, the courage to follow divine direction leads us on a journey of discovery and growth, where we experience God's faithfulness in profound and transformative ways. Obedience to God's guidance has a profound impact on our lives, opening doors to opportunities we could never have imagined. In Deuteronomy 28 verse 1, God says to Israel, "If you fully obey the Lord your God and carefully follow all His commands I give you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations on earth." When we choose to obey, even without seeing the complete outcome, God honors our faithfulness in surprising ways. Obedience can lead us to unexpected paths and opportunities that were beyond our initial vision. By following divine guidance, we can find doors opening in areas of our lives that previously seemed closed, revealing grander and more magnificent plans that God had reserved for us. In addition to opening doors, obedience also directs us along paths that reflect God's greater purpose for our lives. By following His guidance, we allow Him to lead our steps to experiences and achievements we could not reach on our own. This journey of obedience leads us to significant spiritual growth and a deep connection with divine purpose. When we obey, we not only advance into new territories and possibilities, but also experience the fulfillment of God's promises in our lives, revealing a path that, although not visible at the start, is designed to lead us to a destination filled with blessings and accomplishments. Aligning our personal plans with divine direction is essential for living according to God's purpose. Proverbs 16 verse 3 tells us, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." This reminds us that when we turn our plans over to God and seek His guidance, our efforts become aligned with His will. By entrusting our plans to God, He can adjust and shape them to better fit His eternal purpose. This alignment doesn't mean our desires are abandoned, but that they are transformed to more accurately reflect the direction God has for us. True wisdom lies in seeking God's will before moving forward, allowing Him to guide our steps and adjust our plans as needed. Recognizing when our plans are in sync with God's will requires discernment and openness to divine direction. As we move forward with our projects and goals, it's crucial to be attentive to confirmations and signs that God may give us, such as unexpected changes in circumstances, inner peace, or the guidance of wise counselors. Often, God uses these indications to confirm that we are on the right path or to redirect our efforts to something more aligned with His plan. Maintaining a posture of prayer and constant reflection helps identify these signs and ensures our plans are in harmony with His purpose, leading us to a richer and more fulfilling life in line with God's will. The Bible provides numerous testimonies of people who followed God's direction and experienced profound transformations in their lives. A notable example is Abraham. In Genesis 12 verse 1, God tells Abraham, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you." Abraham fully trusted in divine direction, leaving everything he knew behind and moving to an unknown land. His obedience not only led to the formation of a great nation, but also set a standard of faith and trust that continues to inspire millions today. Abraham's willingness to follow God's direction without knowing exactly what the future held illustrates how trust in God can lead to significant blessings and achievements beyond what we imagine. Facing the fear of the unknown is a common challenge in the spiritual journey, but it's an essential aspect of trusting God's direction. Isaiah 41 verse 10 assures us, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." This verse highlights the importance of facing the unknown with the assurance that God is with us every step of the way. When we encounter uncertain situations and insecurity creeps in, trusting that God is in control gives us the courage we need to move forward. The fear of the unknown can be paralyzing, but recognizing that God is guiding our steps turns this uncertainty into an opportunity to experience His faithfulness and provision. The importance of spiritual discernment in our decisions is crucial for ensuring that our paths align with God's will. James 1 verse 5 states, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." This verse reminds us that the wisdom needed to make decisions comes directly from God, and it is essential to seek this divine guidance. Spiritual discernment helps us differentiate between the temporary and the eternal, between what is convenient and what is truly aligned with God's purpose. When faced with difficult or complex choices, seeking this discernment allows us to look beyond appearances and understand the greater plan God has for our lives. Moreover, spiritual discernment involves a close connection with God through prayer and meditation on His Word. Through prayer, we create space for God to reveal His will for our lives, adjusting our hearts and minds to discern His direction more clearly and accurately. In addition to providing discernment, prayer strengthens our relationship with God, building a deeper and more personal bond with the Father. Consistent prayer not only seeks answers but also fosters intimate communication with God, allowing Him to transform our perspectives and strengthen our faith. Prayer is a spiritual practice that helps align our desires with divine will, promoting a continuous and meaningful connection with the Lord. This strengthened relationship gives us the courage and confidence to follow God's direction, knowing He is by our side every step of the way. As we commit to prayer, we become more attuned to His voice and better prepared to follow the path He has set for us. When God presents new paths and opportunities, spiritual preparation is essential to embrace them with confidence and effectiveness. Isaiah 43 verse 19 assures us, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." This verse reveals that God is continually creating new opportunities and paths, even in the most unexpected circumstances. To spiritually prepare for these new directions, we need to cultivate an attitude of openness and readiness, seeking God's guidance through prayer and studying the Scriptures. Spiritual preparation involves not only being attentive to new directions, but also aligning our hearts and minds with divine will, allowing God's Word and the Holy Spirit to guide us in the process. Additionally, spiritual preparation requires a commitment to personal transformation and ongoing growth in faith. This means being willing to let go of old patterns and adapt to the new opportunities that God places before us. As God opens new paths, He also provides the resources and support needed to navigate them. Divine provision is a crucial part of this process, ensuring that when we face new stages and challenges, we are not alone. God equips us with what we need, whether through people, resources, or abilities we didn't know we had. Every step taken on a new path demonstrates God's faithfulness in meeting all our needs and preparing us to fulfill the purpose He has for us. Through His provision, we experience the fulfillment of His plans for our lives and see the realization of the promises made in His Word. Trusting in God's ability to open paths and provide what we need strengthens our faith and motivates us to move forward with courage. Even when the paths seem uncertain and challenging, we know that God is with us, guiding and sustaining us every step of the way. This assurance not only encourages us, but also transforms us into witnesses of His grace and goodness. As we follow the new paths He opens for us, we are invited to trust Him fully, to be thankful for His guidance, and to recognize His provision in every detail of our journey. This trust and gratitude become the foundation of a life lived in full dependence and worship of the Lord. If you've been inspired by the way God opens paths in our lives and want to receive more messages that strengthen your faith and help you recognize divine guidance in your daily life, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. By doing so, you not only help us continue bringing inspiring and edifying content, but also ensure you don't miss any of our reflections and teachings. God bless you.